ध्रुव लाइव करना है ना. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Live the Code 3.0. We are thrilled to have you join us today for what promises to be an insightful and enriching session. My name is Mansi, and I'll be your host for this event, presented by GeeksForGeeks ADGIPS chapter. As we all know, Web3 is not just a technological change, it's a social and cultural revolution. So, whether you are here to dive into the future of Web3 or explore the world of smart contracts, you are in for an exciting session. Today's session, titled Basics of Web3 and Smart Contracts, will give us a solid foundation in these areas. Our speaker for today will be sharing his deep knowledge on these topics, which are important in shaping the next generation of the web. So, with that being said, let us invite our today's speaker, Mr. Shivank Kapur, an experienced and talented full stack blockchain developer. He currently works in developer relations at Router Protocol and is a contributor at Super Team DAO. He has played a key role in the development of projects that leverage blockchain technology. And today he is here to share his expertise with us. He will walk us through the concepts of decentralization, the role of blockchain in Web3, and the power of smart contracts, all crucial elements in the Web3 ecosystem. And with that, it's time to begin. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Shivang Kapoor. Over to you, sir.
Hey guys, thank you so much, Mansi, for a really great introduction. I guess I'm audible and visible clearly. Could you please confirm once?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, thanks a lot, Mansi and GFG Club of ADGIPS, as well as a big thanks to Adarsh and Shreyansh from your college. I am connected with these guys since a long, long time. They are just crazy founders and crazy builders. Been working with them since a long time, long, long time. And yeah, really happy to have a session with you guys at this moment. So yeah, we guys can just start right away. I'll just quickly start by sharing my screen right away. Okay. Uh, I guess my screen must be visible to you guys. Mansi, could you please confirm once if it's visible or not? Cool, cool. All right. So yeah, welcome to a session on basics of blockchain and Web3 as well as smart contracts. What is Web3? What is blockchain? What are these terminologies? We'll be exploring everything in this particular session. Talking about our today's agenda, we'll be having a quick introduction to blockchain. We'll be talking about the difference between Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. What is Ethereum blockchain development? What are smart contracts? And last but not the least, we'll be talking about what are NFTs. So talking about blockchain is something which happens ecosystem wise. Like Ethereum is a ecosystem, Bitcoin is an ecosystem, Solana is an ecosystem. There are different ecosystems. Every ecosystem has its own different technology, own programming language, and yeah. So just starting with the part one, introduction to blockchain, the very basics and how did this buzzword came from. Basically, there was a guy called as Satoshi. Not even a guy. We actually till now don't know who this person was, whether it was he or she who was this person. We don't even have a picture of this person. Just we know an anonymous name called as Satoshi Nakamoto. This person released a white paper called as Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, which basically proposed an ideology of a new digital currency, a new digital ecosystem, a new digital financial system. What happens is at this moment we have banks, we have UPIs, right? Let's say I want to send 500 rupees to Mansi. What I'll do is either I'll UPI her via Paytm, Google Pay, PayPal, or any other UPI or any other technology like this, or I can just directly probably NEFT her via bank to bank application, right? But talking about what Bitcoin, a peer to peer electronic cash system, introduced, this paper was released in, I guess, 2009, January something ish timing. What it introduced was basically an ideology which was completely different to centralized system. What happens is at the moment, everything is centralized. This means we don't have the control over data. We don't have the control over anything at this moment. I am using my bank. I am using my UPI. What happens is let's say I send 500 rupees to Mansi. What would happen is when I send 500 rupees to her, first I'll send that amount and it would go to bank. Then bank would send that amount to Mansi. So bank acts as an intermediary between two parties. That means it is a centralized system governed by one particular authority. The control over your money, the control over your data is not in your hand, and it is not in your hands. It is in the hands of someone else, some other else party. That means they can easily modify that particular thing, right? Because there are multiple transactions being happening in banks. Bank approves every particular transaction time to time, right? So we don't have the control to everything. We don't have the control power over our data. That's the drawback. So there was something had to be introduced, some technology had to be introduced to provide people the power of data, the ownership of data, ownership of their data to be specific. That's why blockchain came up. That's why Bitcoin came up, right? And yeah, in blockchain, everything is just super transparent. The word is self-explanatory. A chain comprising of n number of blocks. A blockchain basically means there is a particular chain going on this way, which is having a block here, a block here, a block here, different blocks happening. Different blocks are there, and each block is approving some transactions. Let's say I send one Bitcoin from person A to person B. So when person A sends one Bitcoin to person B, it is going to be approved by all these blocks. All these blocks are going to approve and validate this particular transaction. Then only it will be successful, right? And yeah, talking about 2014, there was another blockchain called as Ethereum. As I talked about, there are different ecosystems in blockchain in the world of Web3. We have a Bitcoin. Basically, Bitcoin is a blockchain. And every blockchain, as I told, is a series of blocks. Every blockchain has a block. Sorry, it has its own cryptocurrency. Right? Bitcoin is a blockchain, so Bitcoin has its own native cryptocurrency called as BTC. Similarly, we have another blockchain called as Ethereum, and it has its own cryptocurrency called as ETH or Ether. And every blockchain has its own different aspects, own different specialities, right? If I talk about Bitcoin, so what Bitcoin has speciality basically, Bitcoin when it came up, Bitcoin is a really strong and powerful blockchain and really secure. But when Bitcoin came up, it didn't come with the technologies of building dApps or decentralized applications. Basically, if I talk about, for example, I am a developer, I want to build something on Bitcoin. It is very difficult, really difficult. Now there are different solutions being coming up, like Bitcoin L2s, Rootstock, Lightning Network, and different technologies like stacks also coming up to build upon Bitcoin. But it is really difficult still at the moment. And that's why there was a different blockchain called as Ethereum blockchain, which came up For the purpose of building decentralized application, for the purpose of building building some apps on Ethereum and via the help of smart contracts. Cool. So here are some images. As you can see, Bitcoin's native cryptocurrency is BTC, Ethereum's native cryptocurrency is Ethereum or ETH. Similarly, we have another blockchain called as Binance or Binance Chain, and it has its own cryptocurrency called as BNB. Cool. And yeah, let's consider a quick, interesting example. What a blockchain look like. So basically, in blockchain, what happens is every transaction happens publicly. For example, we have our own registers, right? We have our own notebooks in colleges and schools. Um, Whatever we have, we write notes in it, right? Um, so as you can see, it's a notebook, right? It is public. Anyone can see it, anyone can open it. Similarly, every notebook has pages, we write something on it. Similarly, blockchain is a digital book, right? Anyone can view that book, anyone can view all the transactions, what happened, how much of transaction happened, everything is public. Right. Not your passwords or anything like that is public. Of course, seed phrases in the world of Web3, we have wallets. We call them wallets. We have seed phrase, which is basically the backup of your wallet, kind of the password. We have private key, which is the backbone of your crypto wallet, of your which consists your assets like tokens or NFTs, etc. Um, Going back to the digital notebook concept, so basically all the transactions happen publicly in like a digital notebook. Anyone can easily come up and view those transactions. You can see, okay, Shivank sent 4 Ethereum to Mansi, Mansi sent 5 Ethereum to anyone else, etc., etc., and going up. Anyone can just easily view them up. Everything is public. So yeah, this basically creates a more transparent background, which is not present in banks. Again, the third point, because banks do not provide such information, all the transactions are in front of the banks and the party which is being involved, and still there can be scams involved. Some of the key features of blockchain. The main key feature is immutability. If any one of you has done Python, C++, or any programming language, then I'm pretty confident that you must be aware of what the word immutable means. It basically means that something which is not changeable cannot be modified, right? A blockchain cannot be modified. A transaction which has happened, a block which has been created cannot be altered, it cannot be modified. It's just next to impossible, because that's the nature of blockchain. If you just try to modify any block, modify any transaction, you basically try to create a gap, a loophole in the entire system, which defies the main architecture, the root purpose of a blockchain. So that's why it just cannot happen. Talking about a practical demonstration, you guys would just love it. You can see here are different blocks of a chain. Okay, we have different blocks in a particular chain. You can just view them up. This is the block one. The first block of any particular chain, whether it be Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Morph, Polygon, any blockchain, the first block is called as Genesis block because it's just the first block of that particular chain, right? Here you can see we have a first block. Every block has two details. There are obviously more details, but here we are talking about just two details, hash and previous hash. As you can see, the Genesis block's hash is 1HGF, and the previous hash of the second block is 1HGF. It basically means what we can decipher from this is that all the hashes of all the blocks are just connected with each other. Therefore, what we can derive is basically if I try to alter or modify any particular block, I would be directly trying to alter the entire blockchain, and I'll be basically corrupting the entire blockchain. Let's say I just modify the Genesis block. The entire previous hashes of all the coming up further blocks, they'll be just disrupted, thereby disrupting the chain. That's why this is not possible in this industry, in this particular field, in this particular technology. Talking about market overview, these are just pretty. outdated statistics of blockchain, I would say. Um, but yeah, just telling them up entry level blockchain developer salary in USA is nearly about $100,000. It's I guess it's just probably more near to about 100 to $150,000 depending upon your experience. It can go more high. I know some people who are just working in the industry. They are getting $300,000. They are living in Dubai, working as protocol engineers and just making $300,000 right away. The market size is expected to be more than $150 billion by 2032. And yeah, here are some of the statistics which you can just view up. Talking about what is the difference between Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. That's the part 2. Basically, I hope all of you are you are aware of HTML, what HTML is. Basically, Web 1 is nothing. You can consider it as Google in 1996. Google was just a simple HTML page. They were just simple static websites available at that point of time. We had no proper applications deployed on internet. We had really simple web applications. So Google was they were just HTML pages, no styling, no CSS, nothing at all. That was called as Web 1. Web 2 is the current world, like YouTube, we have on which we watch videos, it is Web 2. PayPal is Web 2, Instagram is Web 2, Facebook is Web 2, WhatsApp, Twitter, it is Web 2. Any other application which with you interact via and you sign up, you probably pay, for example, PayPal, Paytm, Google Pay, etc. They're just part of Web 2 ecosystem. Talking about Web3 is everything related to blockchain. Um, Web3 and blockchain, they are just same words. Don't, if you're just getting confused between them, don't be. They are just simply same words. Web3 is basically an umbrella term and blockchain falls under it. You can see, consider it that way. There are different blockchains as we studied a few minutes back, and all of them come under the umbrella term of Web3. Talking about Ethereum blockchain development, one of the most popular blockchain development process. As I told, why Ethereum came up for the reason of because Bitcoin came up with the purpose of transactions, right? Introducing a different financial system. When it came up, people had never thought that even applications could be built upon blockchain, right? So the architecture of Bitcoin was designed in such a way that no one could build applications on it at that point of time. Now there are layer two, Bitcoin layer twos, Botanics, Rootstock, Lightning Network, stacks on which you can build, but it came up later. It wasn't available in 2014, 2015-ish timeline. So that's why Ethereum came up for the purpose of decentralized applications to be built upon via smart contracts. And everything rest we've covered the basics of Ethereum. The cryptocurrency of Ethereum blockchain is Ether, and it is used to pay everything in Ethereum ecosystem. Every particular blockchain has its own gas fee. What is gas fee? It is basically used to maintain the particular blockchain for the maintenance of that particular chain and several other purposes. For that, we have gas fee, and every ecosystem's gas fee is paid by that particular native cryptocurrency. For example, gas fee in Ethereum is being paid by Ether. Gas fee in Bitcoin is being paid by Bitcoin, BTC. And yeah, coming up to the part 4 of our workshop, smart contracts. Really interesting and my favorite part. So, what are smart contracts? Probably many of you are MERN stack developers, full stack developers. What happens in a MERN stack project? We have a client side directory and we have a server side directory. In client side directory, we probably have our React.js files. We have in it a React.js folder or Vue.js, maybe Angular or any other framework, whichever you use. And in the server folder, we have a Node.js environment or Dino or whatever you love to, right? And basically, we have the entire backend part in server and all the front end part in the client side. What happens in a Web3 project, smart contracts act as a backend for that particular project, right? everything which we do in that particular project, which we basically define all the transactions which happen. They are being defined using smart contracts. For example, if we break this down word smart and contracts in a very, very layman language, it basically means something happening legal on the internet. Cool. Um, Basically, they are just self-executable piece of code which consist of some functions, etc., which you define as the core functionality of your decentralized application. They are then interlinked using some libraries like Ethers.js or Web3.js to the front end so that you can just interact with the contracts and everything with the basically front end, and you can create a user interface for the people to interact. Cool. That is the functionality of smart contracts. In Ethereum ecosystem, smart contracts are being written using a language called as Solidity. Um, it is basically an object-oriented programming language. There are some other ecosystems as well which use Solidity, but yeah, originally it came up via Ethereum ecosystem. And yeah, the file extension for Solidity file is .sol. Like for Python, we have .py. For HTML, we have .html. For JavaScript, we have .js. And yeah, for Solidity, we have just .sol. And talking about part 5, what are NFTs? NFTs basically stand for non-fungible tokens. Basically, in Ethereum ecosystem, we have different types of tokens: ERC20, ERC721, ERC, different tokens. We have 1155. And ERC20 token is just a normal crypto token which you can create on Ethereum ecosystem. Like Ether is the native cryptocurrency, right? But if you want to create your own crypto token or Ethereum, you can create it via ERC20 token. Cool. Similarly, for creating NFTs, you must have heard about this buzzword NFTs probably in COVID and lockdown time. It got really, really viral as well as down after that point of time. Basically, NFT is nothing really fascinating or hi-fi term. It's basically simply a non-fungible token, a digital asset on the blockchain, a digital asset on internet. It can be either an image or photo, image or video or audio, anything, right? There are different platforms via which you can create NFTs, you can mint NFTs, even you can buy NFTs. OpenSea. Just don't go to WazirX. WazirX, it has been hacked. But yeah, OpenSea is something which you can use. Really, really popular platform. I'd recommend for buying NFTs or even selling your own NFTs. So yeah, here are some of the popular NFTs. Monkey and NFTs are some of the really popular ones going viral. And here are some other as well. This is an Amitabh Bachchan NFT. If any one of you is in the crypto industry or have heard about it, this NFT, this image, just I guess it was sold for probably 7 crore rupees near about during the lockdown period or just before that. So yeah, NFTs are really hyped up. They also generally have a really practical use case. Um, and yeah, yep, that's all we have. Here's my Twitter. You guys can connect with me if you want to. You can definitely ping me up if you're building anything. If you are interested in Web3, you want to learn more about it. If you need the help of any resources or anything you want to talk about in Web3, I am there to help you guys. Feel free to ping me up, scan these QR code, and yeah, we can stay connected on Twitter. Definitely for sure.
Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. We have some time,
Yeah.
so if it's possible, we can have a quick question and answer session. And
Yeah,
so,
sure.
to the audience, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I guess you can read your questions, or do I need to read?
Okay. Kanak, no, Solidity cannot be used to implement smart contracts on Solana. Yeah, Ethereum is definitely really expensive. The gas fee is extremely high on Ethereum. But for writing and for creating smart contracts on Solana, there is a different language called as Rust. So that is being used for writing smart contracts on Solana. Can you give a quick overview of Genesis block? Yeah, sure, definitely. I'll quickly share my screen again, Zayden. Um, just give me a second. Basically, what happens is blockchain, as I told you, is the chain comprising of n number of blocks, right? Um, as you can see in this particular diagram, Genesis block is basically the first block, whether it be any chain. As Kanak talked about Solana, the first block of Solana is called as Genesis block. The first block of Ethereum is called as Genesis block. The first block of Polygon is called as Genesis block. No chain matters, just the first block is called as Genesis block. What happens is every block has its own hash as well as the previous hash. As you can see, the first block is having an hash 1HGF. This hash is linked to the second hash or is linked to the previous hash of the second block. As you can see, coming up to this particular block, this block has an hash of 2KJH and it is having a previous hash of 1HGF. 1HGF is the hash of uh, first block, the Genesis block. So, as you can see, I have circled it. There's an animation. Those hash and previous hash of the first two blocks are interconnected. And the same pattern is being repeated for the second and third block as well. As you can see, the hash of second block is the previous hash for the third block. So there's a pattern being repeated here. This and this and this. If my cursor is visible, I'm not sure if it's visible or not. The hash and previous hash of two concurrent blocks are always connected. That's why a chain is being maintained. If I try to alter this particular block or this particular block or even this particular block or any other block, let's say I have a chain of 300 blocks. If I try to modify the 99th block or 100th block, 150th block, 200th block, 250th block, it would directly alter or modify the hash and previous hash of, let's say I modify 250th block. It would directly modify the hash and previous hash of 249th block and 251st block. Thereby, when these two blocks get altered, they will just alter the 248th and 252th block. Thereby, it will directly disrupt entire chain. That's why the blockchain is not at all immutable. Blockchain cannot be altered and blockchain cannot be modified. I guess this works for you. Okay, interesting question. I would suggest just go for Ethereum blockchain. Start learning smart contracts, how to write smart contracts, start learning how to write code in Solidity, how to build a front end and integrate your smart contracts with Solidity. That would be a really great start for you. And after that, you'll be just able to figure out there are different blockchains. I personally love Solana um, and Polygon, um, even Rootstock as well for Bitcoin layer 2. But yeah, it completely depends upon you which chain would you like and uh, what chain would you work with. But at the moment, what I would suggest is just start working with Ethereum in Solidity. It would be really helpful for you. Um, for selling and buying of NFTs, see, there are different platforms, honestly. But the personally favorite I would, there are different see, if you want to buy NFTs, Mad Lads is a really good platform, but it's too expensive. Um, OpenSea is the one which I have seen many people using, and I personally have used it. Gas fee is definitely involved, Monu. It is being involved. But yeah, OpenSea is something on which you can list your NFT as well as you can sell it and buy it. That's what I would say you should use. Where can we create a wallet? Interesting question. You can create your wallet via MetaMask wallet. There are different crypto wallets for different ecosystem, right? Phantom wallet is a wallet being used in Solana. Uh, Majorly being it is being used in Solana. MetaMask wallet is another wallet. It is being used in different ecosystems in all the ecosystem, whether it be Ethereum, Solana, or any other. And there's another wallet called as Backpack. It is primarily again being used in Solana. Just go to MetaMask, search MetaMask on Google, and you can just start creating your own crypto wallet. It's pretty simple. It's hardly a 2 minutes or 3 minutes step. I hope this answers your question.
So yeah, I guess there are no more questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Shivank Kapur, for sharing your expertise and guiding us through the concepts of Web3 and smart contracts. I'm sure everyone here has gained valuable knowledge about Web3 development. Thank you all for attending this special session at Live the Code 3.0, organized by Geeks for Geeks ADGIPS chapter. Don't forget to join us for more such exciting events throughout the hackathon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for inviting me, Live the Code 3.0 team. And Mansi, thanks a lot for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.